Imagine a world where every story, every memory, and every great idea disappears when a person dies. Thousands of years ago, human knowledge was very fragile. It lived only in the minds of people. If a wise teacher died, their ideas died with them. But then, humans had a beautiful and powerful idea. They decided to write things down. They needed a safe place to keep these words. These safe places became the most important buildings in human history. They protected human thought from war, fire, and the passing of time. They saved our collective memory. Hi, and welcome to Daily English Origins. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started. What is a library? Today, we think of it as a quiet building filled with books. But a library is much more than that. It is a fortress for the human mind. A fortress is a strong building protected against attack. Throughout history, libraries have fought a long war against forgetting. The story of the library is the story of human resilience. It shows how hard people worked to protect knowledge so the next generation could learn and grow. The story begins more than 5,000 years ago in a region called Mesopotamia. Today, this land is part of Iraq. The ancient Sumerian people did not have paper. Instead, they used wet clay from the river. They pressed a stick into the wet clay to make marks. Then, they baked the clay in the sun until it was hard like a rock. This is called cuneiform. Cuneiform is the earliest known system of writing. The Sumerians built large rooms to hold thousands of these clay tablets. These rooms were the very first libraries. Many centuries later, a powerful king named Ashurbanipal ruled the Assyrian Empire. Most kings at that time only wanted to fight wars and conquer land. To conquer means to take control of a country by force. But Ashurbanipal was different. He wanted to read. He learned how to read the ancient clay tablets. He sent his men across the Middle East to collect every text they could find. He built the Royal Library of Nineveh. He stored over 30,000 clay tablets there. It was the first organized library in history. Later, the center of knowledge moved to ancient Egypt. In the city of Alexandria, leaders had a massive dream. They wanted to collect all the knowledge in the entire world. They built the Great Library of Alexandria. By this time, people did not use heavy clay tablets. They used papyrus. Papyrus is a thick paper made from a tall grass that grows near water. They rolled the papyrus into long tubes called scrolls. The Great Library held hundreds of thousands of these scrolls. The leaders of Alexandria were obsessed with collecting books. Obsessed means you cannot stop thinking about something. They created a strict rule. Whenever a ship arrived in the city's port, soldiers searched it. If they found a book, they took it to the library. The library workers copied the book. They gave the copy back to the owner, but they kept the original book for the library. Because of this, Alexandria became the brightest light of human learning. Scientists, poets, and mathematicians traveled there to study. Sadly, the Great Library did not last forever. Libraries hold delicate things, and this makes them vulnerable. Vulnerable means easily hurt, broken, or destroyed. Over many years, parts of the great library burned in fires during wars. Great thinkers wept as thousands of unique scrolls turned into ash. When the papyrus burned, the knowledge was gone forever. The destruction of Alexandria is still considered one of the greatest tragedies in human history. It taught humanity a hard lesson. Knowledge must be protected carefully. As the Greek and Egyptian empires fell, the Roman Empire rose to power. The Romans loved the idea of libraries, but they changed the rules. Before Rome, libraries were mostly for kings and elite scholars. Elite means a small group of people who have the most power or money. The Romans decided to share knowledge. They built public baths where people went to wash and relax. Inside these beautiful bathhouses, they built public reading rooms. Now, ordinary citizens could sit, relax, and read the great stories of the world. The idea of public reading was born. When the Roman Empire collapsed, Europe entered a difficult period. This is often called the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages were a time of war, poverty, and very little education. Many ancient books were destroyed, and reading almost stopped completely. But a group of quiet, peaceful men saved human history. They were called monks. A monk is a man who lives a simple, strict life for his religion. They lived together in safe, isolated buildings called monasteries. Inside these monasteries, there was a special room called the scriptorium. A scriptorium is a writing room where monks copied books by hand. By this time, people did not use papyrus. They used parchment. Parchment is a strong writing material made from animal skin. Copying a book took many months of hard work. The monks sat in the cold, copying every single letter by hand. Their fingers bled, and their eyes hurt from the poor light. But they did not stop. Their amazing resilience kept human knowledge alive during Europe's darkest time. While Europe was in the dark, another part of the world was shining bright. This was the Islamic Golden Age. In the city of Baghdad, leaders built a magnificent library called the House of Wisdom. They paid scholars to travel the world and find ancient texts. They paid them to translate books from Greek, Indian, and Persian into Arabic. To translate means to change words from one language into another. These brilliant scholars saved ancient mathematics, astronomy, and medicine from disappearing forever. But just like Alexandria, the House of Wisdom faced a terrible war. In the year 1258, the powerful Mongol army attacked Baghdad. The Mongols destroyed the city. They took thousands of precious books from the library and threw them into the Tigris River. The Mongols used the books to build a bridge for their horses to walk across. Legend says the river turned black from the ink of the books. Ink is the dark liquid used for writing. It was a massive tragedy and a terrible defeat in the long war to protect knowledge. Are you enjoying this journey through time? If you love learning English with these historical stories, please take a quick moment to like this video and subscribe to Daily English Origins. Your support helps us create more great content for you. Now, let's get back to the story. For thousands of years, making a book was a very slow struggle. Because of this, books were extremely expensive. Only kings and rich churches could afford them. But in the 1400s, a man named Johannes Gutenberg invented something magical. he created the printing press. A printing press is a machine that copies text quickly by pressing inked metal letters onto paper. Before this, one monk could copy one book in a year. Suddenly, a machine could print thousands of pages in a single week. The printing press started a silent revolution. Books became cheaper, and regular people finally started to learn how to read. But some powerful leaders and elite groups did not like this. They wanted to control what people knew. They practiced censorship. Censorship is when a government stops people from reading or sharing certain information. Powerful leaders tried to ban and burn the new printed books, but they could not win this war. The printing press was too fast, and the human desire to learn was too strong. Knowledge was finally spreading everywhere. As modern nations grew stronger, they wanted to show the world their wealth and intelligence. Kings and queens started to build massive royal collections of books. They created national archives. An archive is a place where a country carefully stores its most important historical documents. Countries like France and Great Britain built huge, beautiful palaces just for books. The library was no longer just a small, hidden room in a monastery. It became a powerful symbol of a nation's pride and its love for education. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, a new hero of knowledge appeared. His name was Andrew Carnegie. He was a very rich businessman in America. But Carnegie remembered that he was once a poor boy who loved to read. He became a philanthropist. A philanthropist is a wealthy person who gives their money to help other people. Carnegie believed that anyone who wanted to learn should have free access to books. He used his great wealth to build over 2,500 public libraries around the world. Because of people like Carnegie, the modern public library was born. This changed society forever. The library was no longer a fortress just for kings, monks, or the elite. It became a powerful tool for democracy. Democracy is a system where everyone has equal rights and a free voice. In a public library, it did not matter if you were rich or poor. The doors were open to everyone. People could walk in, borrow a book for free, and teach themselves anything they wanted to know. But the war to protect knowledge was not over. In the 1940s, World War II destroyed cities across Europe and Asia. Bombs fell from the sky, burning thousands of buildings. Brave librarians worked through the night to protect their books. They had to evacuate the most important texts. To evacuate means to quickly move people or things away from danger to a safe place. Librarians hid rare books in deep underground caves to save them from the bombs. Once again, human resilience kept our history alive. Today, we are living in a brand new era. It is the age of computers and the internet. Libraries have changed again. We now use digital records. Digital means storing information as computer data instead of on physical objects. Today, you do not need to travel to a huge building to read a book. You can access millions of texts on your phone. The dream of the ancient leaders in Alexandria has finally come true. The knowledge of the whole world is available to anyone, anywhere, at any time. Does this mean the physical library is dead? Not at all. Modern libraries are still very busy places. But today, they offer much more than just books. They provide free internet access for people who cannot afford it. They offer safe places for children to do their homework. They help adults learn new skills to find jobs. The library is the heart of the community. A community is a group of people living together in the same area. Libraries bring these people together in peace. From heavy clay tablets in ancient Iraq to glowing screens in modern cities, the history of libraries is a beautiful journey. It is a story of survival. Fire, war, and time tried to erase human thought. But humanity refused to forget. We built grand palaces, quiet writing rooms, and vast digital networks to protect our ideas. The library is a symbol of our greatest human value: hope. When we say the book, we are sending a message to the future. We are saying that our stories matter, our lessons are valuable, and the next generation deserves the chance to learn from our struggles. The library proves that no matter how dark the world gets, the light of human knowledge will never truly go out. Hey there, just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.